Hi, welcome. I am Alexis.
And I am Maria Elizabeth.
Yeah, we're very excited to do this video for y'all, for we could share a little bit of who we are, according specifically to this new event that we're about to do together, because we're collaborating.
Yes, it's Yoni steam and womb pulsing together.
Yes. Ooh, sounds so powerful. It's gonna be so good. So, I would like to introduce real quick that I'm Alexis. I am a mom. I deal with womb health and being able to reclaim my power back, as with this portal that we carry within ourselves, and having it healthy for we could be aligned, project, and manifest the beautiful world that we deserve to be in. And the reason that I'm doing the Yoni steam is because I feel like it's a lost healing art that actually comes from most of all cultures. It's an ancient practice. You see it through Europe, you see it through Asia, you see it through, as for my roots, which is the Mexicas, you see it that it was very much part of our healing abilities, part of our rituals. So what a Yoni steam is being able to have a brew of herbs, specifically of what you're trying to heal. You could do postpartum, you could do for infertility, you could deal with balancing your hormones. So it's depending on what path you are of healing you are in and what is your body needing. But overall is to be able to rejuvenate, as well as we all love facials and steams. Our beautiful being down here enjoys them themselves. So it's being able to give that self-love back to it. Sometimes we're like what it could do for us, and in a constant demand of, constantly being in cycles, out of intercourse, intimacy, birth control, that sometimes we forget how to nurture ourselves, specifically with our yonis. Real quick, what a yoni means, it's a Sanskrit word for sacred vessel. So seeing our wombs, our vaginas, as a beautiful portal that is sacred, and being able to connect back to it. The way that we are in coming together with these arts, and how the both of us come together, is that we're doing this medicine specifically in order to unblock, heal, open the vessel, and bring back balance. So, and that could be from sexual trauma, either from medication, it could be from ancestral trauma. So we are coming together in order to put these two powers together and be able to provide a sacred space.
So I also wanted to share a little bit about myself. My name is Maria Elizabeth, and I am an acupuncturist and an herbalist with traditional Asian medicine. And the womb pulsing was introduced to me back 12 years ago. So it's something that I've been practicing for a while. But womb pulsing, you can't do it to yourself, you need a partner. So when Alexis and I started talking, and just like on the work we individually do, it just flowed so well, of just like partnering up and bringing these two really powerful tools. And in and of themselves, they could be their own workshop. Like it could just be a yoni steaming workshop, and it could just be a womb pulsing workshop. That's why the workshop is from 4 to 11, because we're really bringing like two powerhouses, literally the techniques together. So it could be this tool could be, again, for releasing past sexual energy of sexual partners. You feel like you have a blockage, or you have irregular menstruation, or you're preparing to conceive, or literally you just want to work on your womb health. The workshop has the ability to address any and all of them. But I think the fundamental part is that it's definitely going to be a spiritual and an emotional experience that you want to come and be open for.
Yeah, I think I was reading something along the lines, and it said that we have two heartbeats, right? We have one here, and we also have another heartbeat in our wombs. But a lot of us are walking with a flat line heart rate within our wombs because of how we've been expected to be as, you know, as humans, or through the trauma that we've gone through, or because of medications or abortions or miscarriages, and because the trauma has been quite heavy on some of us, that there's not full movement or flow in there. So I think I loved how you said it last time. It's kind of like giving CPR to your womb in order for it to be the circulation to pass through and revive it. Definitely, I loved that sense.
It's so true for all of us who have a womb. It's really our source of creativity. Yeah. And it's not just a source of life because it could procreate life, but it's really a source of energy. And so our wombs could create a lot of things. They don't just birth humans, they birth a lot of things. And so that's part of the goal of the ceremony. I know we're calling it a workshop, but it's also just really a ceremony. So that as women or women identified, we are able to be in our power. We're able to really function out of the power of the womb, because that's really where we function out of. It's like heart, womb, and mind, and most of the time we're up here, right? Like very much into listening to our mind, but we don't listen to our hearts, and we don't listen to our wombs. And so that's part of really the ongoing piece of why we're starting to collaborate, and why this is only the beginning of really what we're going to be developing, because it's about how do we ground ourselves again as women, or as people that have wombs, and how can we use our womb to give us that inertia, you know, to live in what can seem such a hectic and chaotic, you know, world. How can we be grounded in the time of a hurricane, right? How can you stay grounded when so many things are moving? So we stay grounded by clearing our womb and working out of that life force and that power space.
Yes, that's beautifully said. Yeah, I love the fact that it's like remembering our power and knowing that there's parts of our bodies that do need that love, that do need that remembrance, and we could use our womb to help us instead of it being against us and being like, I'm carrying all this pain. And one of the things is, as some beings that have wombs, most of us have gone through some battles of challenges through health because of it, and knowing how to maneuver. And we are trying to bring these tools out and know that these are things that could definitely help you out.
For many of us, if we're struggling with any gynecological issues, or that are still reoccurring, or they haven't resolved, when you dig deeper and when you remember that we're aligned mind, body, spirit, emotions, when something continues to reoccur and it's not resolving on the physical realm, right? It's because we also need to do that emotional work, that spiritual work. Like there's maybe a blockage of some sort that you just can't, like, you know. And this is my own personal experience too. Like, why is something not resolving physically? And it's because there's some work that needs to go down emotionally and spiritually to clear it out. So the physical manifestation is just an indication or symptom of an emotional or spiritual disbalance. And so that's really part of the ceremony and the workshop. It's going deeper in order to just bring closure, in order to release, in order to resolve in your physical self.
Right.
Exactly. So, okay. So Yoni steaming. So, like, how is it gonna work? Like, how are we gonna sit on the thing? And, like, you know, like the logistics of it. Can I come if I'm on my period? Can I not? Like, if I'm pregnant? Like, kind of all of those. Right.
So, we could start off with what Yoni steaming is that the brew of this potent tea that goes into the canal of the vagina. And so what it does, it starts opening up our cervix and our uterine lining, and it starts helping the uterus start contracting in order to release shedding old blood, tissue, and ultimately it starts cleaning your vessel. And so it depends on the intention that you could come in. For example, we have these 4 blends, we have new mama medicine. For example, for me, this one would be really great for me because I'm going through postpartum. So therefore, this is going to help me tone back my uterus back to its regular size and shed any extra layers that are in there. So this is really good for postpartum mommies. And then we have the Cosmic Egg Fertility Blend. So what this helps out is if you are trying to get pregnant, this helps out to balance out your hormones and make a good cushion for your uterus to be a good home. So when a egg gets implanted, and also to give nutrients to your womb that might be needed. And then we also have the Yoni solstice. So this one's really good for rebalancing. Is this the one that you have?
Is this the the fitness blend? Yes. So like for some of us who like work out a lot and you sweat a lot, really just
I sweat a lot too.
Yeah. So like really just balancing kind of the pH, balancing kind of like the generated heat. So yeah, this is the one I use.
Cool. And then we have the 13 moon blend. The 13 moon blend is if you have a very heavy period or unbalanced period. This helps you to either not make it as heavy, or if you have a light period, to be able to fully let everything out. And as well for this one's really good, for example, if you're coming out of birth control and you want to regain your period and be able to balance it out. This is really good. But it's also really good for detoxifying if there are heavy toxins. And the way that this works energetically, at the same time, the fact that you're sitting down and taking time for yourself, it's like aligning yourself with your higher self and your inner child. Finally taking that time to fully sit down with yourself. When we're constantly like in a heavy paced life, you're actually taking that time for yourself. So we brew this, and then we will provide a bowl for you that you could take home and steam whenever, as many times you want. Not as many times, because there is a limit of how many times you could steam. But you bring in the bowl. It's going to be like a hot tea. It's like a steam. And the way that we will be sitting down will be on our knees and on the floor, and we wear either it could be a towel or a tapestry or a long skirt, and we sit on top of the steam and we allow ourselves to soak in. I personally love how the steam feels. When I first started, it felt like a warm hug, like a pure warm hug out of these herbs that wanted to help me. And then within my third session of steaming, the first time while sitting down, I felt like it was just pulling and pulling and pulling. On my third session, it felt more like it was finally able to go in and bask in myself fully. And it felt like a deep warmness within my core. And I felt like a very loving energy as like Mama Earth hugged me and caressed me and took out what needed to come out. So that in itself, that is how we steam. We brew it, and within steam, we sit on top of it and we allow ourselves. It's about a 15-minute process. And after that, we give our tea, either you could flush it or you could give it back to the earth, however you would like. And yeah, that's how we steam.
Yes.
Cool.
Okay, so
I have a question for you.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so for the womb pulsing, what should we expect? Is it something that's physically painful? Is it gentle? How does it feel? Is there something that we need to prep for it?
Yeah. So the womb pulsing is definitely very intimate. You will be partnered with somebody, because you do need to be in a pair, because you're gonna trade off pulsing each other. So it is a little bit strenuous in the sense that you're gonna have to work, your core. And there's breath work involved. And you will, it's literally feeling pressure on your womb. So you're going to do kind of like those deep breaths of when the person is pressing. So because it's about releasing. So So womb pulsing is all about movement and pushing out and releasing. So if you're pregnant, obviously you wouldn't be able to do it. If you are on your period, I mean, maybe if it's like at the end of your period, but if you have heavy periods, that's probably not the time to do it either. And so physically, yeah, you're definitely gonna feel something. You're definitely gonna feel release, and that's why I think it's so well to pair it with the Yoni steam. We're gonna start with the Yoni steam to ground and to pull and to open that portal, and then we're gonna do the womb pulsing to just really like push things out, because there's some things that you don't even know are in there, and they're gonna come out when you're feeling that much pressure. And so yeah, so the womb pulsing itself should take probably about 20 minutes as well, 20-30 minutes. And yeah, so just expect, more than anything, expect a release, and expect to be partnered with someone.
Yes. And that being said, we are doing it in a safe, sacred space where we're allowing ourselves to fully be present with our emotions, in a place where we could be vulnerable, in a judgment-free space, because we are knowing that we're doing this specifically for healing, and that means that there's no judgment over what we have gone through or what we are going through. We are allowing ourselves to be able to be present with those aspects of ourselves, and that's what I really appreciate about it.
Yeah, I just overall, I know we're both super excited because we're both have done this before, like to ourselves. Like I've done womb pulsing, and it was one of the most transformative experiences, and so coupling it with the Yoni steam, I think will take it to another level. Yeah, there will be an integrating part, obviously. So like after the Yoni, after the womb pulsing, we're gonna have a time where, you know, we're gonna sit in a circle and just pretty much integrate the experience together. Yes. With a little bit of fruit, just to, you know, nourish ourselves. And so just expect that you're taken care of, you're nourished, you don't have to worry about anything. We'll be there holding space for you. And we only do have 10 spots, so if you're interested, you know, just follow the instinct. Yes. And we do have a payment plan for those who need the payment plan. Of course, we don't ever want the financial piece to be a hindrance, especially if you're seeking that healing and this is calling to you. And just overall, we've been doing our work, so we're grounding and doing our womb health so that we're ready to just give to you all.
Yes. Ooh, you asked a question I did not answer, and it brought me back to what you were saying. For the steaming, if you are pregnant or if you are in your period, it is not your time just yet. Unless you are pregnant and you're close already to your 40 weeks, this would be really good to open you up for you could give birth. But if you're in your first, second, and towards your like third trimester, it's not your time just yet. And if you have any open sores or any cuts or anything like that, it might not be the best time to steam just yet. But other than that, we are here for whenever you are ready. And that's pretty much it. Is that a wrap?
That's a wrap.
Yeah, cool. So if you're definitely interested, you could either DM me or DM Maria. And we're also going to have the email if you're already super ready and you want the instructions on how to RSVP and everything. The email and the information is down below.
Yes.
Yeah, cool. Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.